This is Majinoni, and here's my review for Namor and X-Men Smoking Blood. I'm going to get rid of this one first. Now, these are both Curse of the Mutant tie-ins, and this one here's the one-shot, while Namor is going to be an ongoing, at least for right now. Now, I was really disappointed in this. Like, I really was let down completely. Let me explain why now. Now, when you look at this cover, you're going, "Ooh, this kind of looks kind of cool." And when you look inside the book, it's nothing like that. Now, when I bought this, it was like I put in my pull list so this way I get my 20% discount. So it's not like I actually went through the book ahead of time and on the shelf and then stuck it into my box. It was, I grabbed the book from my bag, threw it on the table, and then I was like, I never really looked through this thing carefully until now. And man, this was disappointing. There was some shining moments though. Like right here, for an example, you had Nemesis and Miss Frost talking to each other. Oh, and by the way, there's going to be some spoilers, so if you haven't read your books, come back later. Now, the beginning part here, this was awesome, because these two just don't like each other, and they're just poking at each other, and that was, like, much amusement. And, they captured a vampire, and then they're basically taking him in to investigate him, to try to figure out a cure. So now, look at this art. This is just god-awful. I mean, I understand maybe if you want to draw Miss Frost at her ugliest, then, hey, great job, you succeeded. Well, actually, there's another guy who drew worse, but, at least you're in the running. And from here, you have the three ex-scientists, and they're trying to solve a cure, or find a cure. Now, they think they have a cure, but then, unfortunately, these people, bozos who got infected, let the vampire out, and carnage and chaos ensue. It's basically the best way to explain this is just imagine a very bad alien movie. Very bad. Not like Alien versus Predator bad. I'm talking very bad. That's what you're getting here. This really actually could have been spectacular. It just fell short. I mean, there were glimpses and pieces of some funniness, like those 6 guys over here that were, they're infected. In one minute they're like, "Oh, I don't want to die," and the next minute they're like shouting out, "Please come and get me, you Dark Lord," and let me be your sacrifice. Oh, I don't want to die. So, things like that were kind of funny, and I can appreciate the humor, but it was just, I didn't think it really brought much to the table. They eventually, they are able to get to their cure. It was basically these little tiny robot things, and they figured, they inject the vampire with these nanobot type things, and then, it wasn't called nanobots, but it was just so you can visualize it, and it basically reconstruct the body on a DNA genetic level. Well, they shoot the thing and it doesn't work. Now, see, like, some of the art is okay slightly, like when you see this, in an abstract, horrific way, I guess it looks fine, but on the other hand, when you compare it to this, you're like, yeah, I like this one a little better. So that's what I'm saying, is it kind of loses. It basically, to me, what it looked like is something that any one of us could draw. Could have done this, like, or their 10-year-old brother, who had a nightmare, can draw this. So it really didn't offer much wow. Now, some of the scientists here get infected also, and they're thinking it's the end of the world, but Nemesis basically gets the idea of using psychic energy to override, or basically, I guess you could say override everything. So she creates like this feedback loop through everybody, and then that actually feeds the vampire, like, push, and as you can see, it kind of like blows up like that. and now they pretty much have a cure on how to kill the vampires. And to me, it's like, I think the cure kind of came a little early. I understand it's not the complete cure, but I mean, now they're definitely in step in the right direction. And I'm very disappointed. Namor, the first mutant, this one had me actually torn. On one hand, it had me interested because this was dealing with the Atlantean vampires, but on the other hand, I really hate this art. It's just, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think there's some good things that are being done here, but I just don't think that, I just don't like it in terms of this type of a storyline. I don't know, it's hard for me. As we go into this, I'll explain a little bit more what I mean. What we have here is Namor basically talking to some old woman to find out about the vampires, and she's being cryptic, and you know, eventually she reluctantly gives in and lets him know. He swims over here, and he finds one of his guards was attacked. These are some harpoon people, and he basically needs them to, you know, basically help him get Dracula's head back, because his main guards are up on the near the surface with the X-Men. So he recruits these guys in, and these guys are they're like, why should we believe? Why should we follow you? Blah blah blah. And he's like, well, don't do it for me. Do it for the blood of, you know, this guy. So, you know, eventually they cave in and go with him. Now, because they go deeper and deeper into the water, into the ocean. See, now, like, scenes like this that kind of get me, because it's kind of like this. You know, you have nothing, just bluish green. You know, and I understand you don't want to put a lot of fish and stuff like in panels like this, because then everything gets too crowded. But then when you get a picture like this, where you have smaller characters, then it's like, hey guys, let's just fill it full of as much sea life as we possibly can. So you go from no sea life to, we have a zoo right here. So like, it's a little stuff that bothers me like that. And even when you go here, again, we have a zoo. And I just think that it basically lacked life for me. Like, since this is underwater, you expect to see fish, you expect to see aquatic life, and yeah, I mean, you see it a little bit, but there's just so much of it that's just blank, and it's blah. It's almost like they didn't want to fill in the details, and then later on down the road, they go, oh yeah, we better put some fish in here. Well, they eventually get attacked by vampire fish that are their pets. They go deeper, 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 and then they get picked off. And eventually Namor finds the head of Dracula. And, you know, sure enough, it's a trap, because now all the vampires are awakened to catch them. Well, Namor and the two other survivors, they try to escape. It's not even a real fight, it's more about, you know, them just trying to get away. Now, this guy gets cut in half right here. See, and even like this scene here, it's like, you know, maybe comic readers' standards are low in terms of like vicious, bloody decapitations and action. You know, stabbing, shootings, things like this. But as a manga reader, let me just explain something to you. These 4 panels here, this is not acceptable to my eyes. Not at all. I mean, heck, even Naruto and Bleach have better death scenes than this. And it's just really, I don't know, it kind of hurt my eyes. It really, really did. I mean, but like I said, you guys out there, most of you guys will probably be A-okay with it, and you're probably going to yell at me because, you know, wasn't it the coolest thing? The guy got cut in half. Well, yeah, he got cut in half, but does it really look like it really happened? No, it doesn't really look like it happened. He just got stabbed, and then he pulled a harpoon out, and then his body split in half. half is what it looked like. So it's kind of lame. So anyways, here, the other vampires and the fish basically put his body back together again, and he's like, attend me, Namor. Prince Namor declared war and our truce is over. No, buddy, you broke the truce because you're the one who attacked Namor first. I'm like, what an idiot. Well, I understand why he's doing it, but I'm like, I hate writing like that. Now, that's basically the gist of that issue. Then after that, then we get some info about Namor and who he is and bits and pieces of the story. And now I love this panel here with Namor where he busts out. He looks like a Frankenstein type character here with his head and goggles, but he's like, "Wowee, let me out of here. I want to lick the whole wide world." And I'm like, oh, jeez. Writing was really bad back then, wasn't it? So, anyways, we get more history of Namor. It was just kind of interesting, I guess, if you really want to know about him. And then you get essential readings, I guess you could say. So, Namor basically bit off a lot when the war with the Atlanteans and the aquatic vampires began. So, just let me recap here for you real quick. This one, all you need to know is a cure is found. Don't buy this. Save the, how much is it? $3.99. Save it. Namor, it's 50-50. If you really like the character, you'll probably like it, maybe. I think this is going to be a little bit crucial to the Curse of the Mutants only for the Atlantean vampires. That's it. Beyond that, it's, I don't think it's going to matter much. Because, eventually they're going to have 3 pages that have, here's the head, and then it's going to be that. Actually, 3 pages is probably too much. It'll be 2 panels. Here's his head. Doesn't matter what he went through to get it, but here it is, type thing. So yeah, I'm kind of left as iffy on this. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave it on the side and tell me what do you guys think of changing Namor to be what he used to be, where Submariner Prince Namor to the first mutant. Personally, I think that's a really cheese-ass move that they did. And I didn't think they really needed to do that. But there it is. Other than that, if you have any questions or comments, let me know. Subscribe to the channel. Rate the video up and down. Let me know what you think. And I'll have more reviews up.